What's up, YouTube? Got another Petrol Addict review coming for you. This is my first ride ever on a Ninja 636. This is my good friend's. Let me ride it out to a car show today because he took his mini truck in. This one's not stock. Bunch of carbon fiber bits all over the place. I'm really digging this though. The covered frame with that, real metallic paint. So let's hop on this thing and see what's what. Ugh, I haven't ridden a 600 in a while. Fold that guy out there. Starting procedure. Does a little sweep. It's in full power mode. Give her a start. Ooh, exhaust. Let's let it warm up a little bit. So, performance wise, it's got a power commander and an M4 exhaust. Sounds good. It'll be fun to ride. So I'm headed out to Import Face Off, which is kind of a big thing here in St. Louis. I used to have, still do have, my Civic. Used to be real big into the import scene. So it'll be pretty cool to get out there and do that. I don't really mess with a whole lot of the Honda guys anymore. Mostly just mess with bikes, but it'll be cool. It's always fun to get out there and see what's what. I haven't ridden a 600 in a while. My first ride on a Kawasaki, I do believe. Oh, no quick shifter. Gotta remember that. This thing's pretty zippy for a... I was on my S1000 yesterday. First off, the chassis is not as good as the S1000, but I mean, there's $10,000 difference between the two of them. But the motor is great. There's not as much of a crossover as as my old CBR or an R6. I guess that extra 50 cc's comes in handy. I forgot how much you gotta shift on a 600. Oh, but the noise! Oh, the noise of a 600. So, alright, got the fun bit out of the way, now a bit of highway cruise. Let me tell you about this thing. So, the ZX6-R is a 636cc 4-cylinder, redlining at 16,000. Adjustable suspension, front and rear. Showa forks in the front. No Brembos. This one's got adjustable levers, which is nice. God, this is like yelling with Tom. If any of you guys follow riding with Tom, back in the day he put an M4 on his 636 and it was yelling with Tom is what he described his show as. So, but the seating position is pretty good. It's actually quite comfortable. The seat is quite thin, as you'd expect from a 600. The mirrors are good for a sport bike. They're way up front. They stick out wide. It's better than might be better than my S1000 actually. The clock is the clock's not wrong. Fuck, it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. I need to sleep in more. Let that exhaust note. Plus on top of that, I mean, I think the 636 is one of the most gorgeous 600s there is. I mean, compared to what it competes with, I really don't feel that the 636 or the Gixxer really the 66 and the Gixxer compete. And the R6 and the Honda, the CBR, those two compete. So compared to the Gixxer, this thing is an absolute fucking, this is like Pamela Anderson a long time ago in the 80s when she was hot. And I don't know, the Gixxer's a big single-eyed fuck. This exhaust is good. I do like the M4. Suspension is, I mean, it's stiff. It's like a Super Sport. It's not plush like my BMW is, but the power band is great on this thing. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of back roads or something, or at least get out and use it a little more instead of just that little stint. But there's nothing to really surprise you. This thing's just kind of quick from $4,000 up. You know, whereas my CBR I had to wait till 9,000. The R6 you gotta wait till 10 before anything happens. So this is a good bike. I like to call this a cheater bike. I'm gonna have coming up soon a review of the Daytona 675, which is another cheater bike, which is a bike I absolutely adore. I am a sucker for European bikes, especially BMWs and Triumphs. I've owned both. I love both. So that 675 is, I'm really looking forward to riding that thing. You know, it sounds like a Porsche 959. Yeah, it's just awesome. Hopefully I'll have an older Triumph 955 that like my old one, but this is going to be a speed triple that I can do a review for you guys as well. The gauge cluster on this thing's pretty easy to read. I don't like how everything's kind of like mixed up. Like, I don't know, it's just not super easy to read. I mean, it's easy to read, but everything's kind of mixed together. Like, you've got your mode on top, you've got something that says KTRC. I guess that's Kawasaki Racing Control or something like that, like a traction control. That's all like kind of jammed up in the top, and then below that, there's the arch. And then, you know, to the left of that, you've got the gear indicator, which is kind of in a weird place. I'm used to my S1000 where it's nice and big, easy to read. And then the temperature's the tiny little number 2. It took me forever to find that. So hopefully you guys can actually hear me over the exhaust. This M4 is loud. I don't know what that little light is. I guess it's a shift indicator, but why is it set at 10,000? There's so much gear. I'm used to just blitzing through the gears on the S. There's Gateway. They can probably hear me coming. Oh man, I hope this is not like last year. Last year getting in this place, I sat in line for like 4 hours. Brakes are pretty good. Engine braking is great. Like, this thing's really predictable on the engine braking. To be fair, I don't know if this has a slipper clutch or not. I think this one does. Oh, the neutral light's up there. That's confusing. So that's kind of confusing. The neutral light's up here. It doesn't pop up in the gear indicator. no-cut frame sliders, which I hate. They're just gonna snap. I'm not a big fan of frame sliders anyway, just because whenever you do go down, they will dig into the ground. If you're going anything over like 15 miles an hour, they're just gonna dig into the ground, throw the front end of your bike into the ground. Just ass chase on 2 wheels. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and edit this in at the beginning, because I was kind of in a hurry when I was leaving. But, so, controls. So it looks like you got your power switch over here for your modes, low, full. You got to press and hold for like 2 seconds, and it switches back and forth. Kawasaki traction control, I'm assuming that it is. You got 3 settings and off. Maybe that's, I mean, it never felt like a slow coach. Horns in normal position, kill switch as normal. Seat height, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm bent leg. It's pretty easy to hold up. This is gonna be like the worst review ever. I'm gonna have to redo this.